I have some tips that I want to share when it comes to knocking doors. They're really simple. A lot of people might already, be using them when they're out there in the field. Sometimes, when we're busy, we just don't even think about it. But crucial, key factors when you're out knocking doors is your presentation. Presentation is everything. People sum you up in the first, couple seconds when they see you. And you're only going to get that one shot. When that customer sees you, they see your brand. So you want to make sure that you're representing yourself well. You're dressed correctly, your hygiene is correct. If you're driving a company vehicle and it has the logo on it, I hate to waste gas or tell people to keep driving house to house, but definitely when you're going after nice ones or ones you're targeting, use that to your advantage. Park your vehicle outside the house when you go to knock the door. Maybe pull in the driveway and explain to them you're stopping by. I mean, it's not something that I recommend to people who maybe are first getting started. But once you have confidence, and you see a big house, pull in the driveway and tell them how you drive by and wanted to stop by and introduce yourself. And by presenting it to the customer that way and being more of the premier roofer and showing a value proposition with the way you look and then your truck and your brand, it's going to get that person's interest immediately up. It's going to make your sale so much easier. When you're in these areas, you're knocking doors, utilize yard signs. If you're not putting yard signs down when you go to knock doors, then I'm sorry, you're missing out on so much business that you might as well just stay at home, because you can go knock doors, and I see roofers do it all the time, but when you put the yard sign down, it probably doubles your business. Not only people calling in, but the doors you go knock on. Those people that weren't interested, they see your work, they see the yard sign, they call you back. If they weren't at home and you left a flyer, they end up seeing it and calling you back, and all that foot traffic ends up paying off because all that subliminal messaging from them seeing your logo. And persistence, which overcomes resistance, is immediately or eventually going to get you those sales. One thing you need to do is you got to create a sense of urgency. So if you're in the area, don't make it seem like you're no fly-by-nighter, but make it seem like, if you have a customer on the hook or they're maybe a little iffy that you're busy, say, hey, sir, I'm in your area now and I can help you right now, and I don't like to leave customers behind when I know I can educate you or just take a free look at your roof and possibly get you to qualify, just like we did your neighbor. You got to make sure you're doing that, because if not, customers are going to walk all over you. They're going to tell you, no, we can wait on this. Let me get my wife. Let me get my husband. You create a sense of urgency. You explain to them it's a free inspection. Insurance is paid for it. You show them work, references in the area. You're going to get that free inspection. Definitely, if you can get 5 minutes in front of their face, you're always usually going to get it. If for those who don't answer the door right away, write down those addresses. Go back in the area and keep hitting them. Keep hitting them until you get the person at the door, and you can, mark that off your list that you spoke to that customer. And if you can get data reports, there's great tools out there like Sales Rabbit or things you can use on Google with the city. You can usually get that customer's first and last name. So that way when you go to the door, you have their information, and it might somewhat spook them at first, but you can just even tell them, hey, we have a contact list of all the neighbors in this area. We've been working with so-and-so. That's why we're coming by your house today. We just wanted to offer our free services, as we think we can probably increase the value of your home. A lot of your neighbors have been doing this due to the recent storms in your area. And a lot of people are going to go with you. They're going to be like, wow, this company's above the rest. They knew our name. They look very presentable. They have tablets in their hand, and they're able to communicate their message very, very precisely. And they're not used to that. They're used to somebody coming to their door and being just a salesman, a hard salesman. Well, if you can go with us today, well, ma'am, I really need to get this inspection because I got my field. I like to call us educators. You go around educating people, they're going to come right to you. So, all things always, I like to say, come in three. So when you get one, don't stop. Activity breeds activity. So if you get one and you're doing it by yourself, you tell them you'll come right back, and then go ahead and go to the next couple houses. Tell them how you have an inspection with Mrs. Smith next door, and in the next 30 minutes, they're going to see you pull in their driveway, get your ladder out, and get on their roof. That'll make it to where they'll want to use you. They'll probably know Mrs. Smith, and if they don't, they'll see you up on the roof. They'll see you on the roof doing your work, to where if there's any doubt in their mind, they'll have seen what you're actually doing, to where now if you come back around to sell them again, they're probably going to say yes, unless there's just something about you, the company, or that customer that's holding them back. One thing you always want to do too is you want to make sure that you're not